Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Bold in the Beautiful Thursday, October 17 recap. Luna update, Will confesses, Carter stands up to Steffi. The Bold in the Beautiful B&B, spoilers recap for Thursday, October 17, reveals that Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McSinswood, forgave Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., for keeping her in the dark on Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Buddig, condition since he really stepped up for her. Steffi assumed Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, must have had a connection when she walked in on Ridge all tangled up with Taylor. Ridge admitted Brooke wasn't happy, but he suggested he smooth things over with a private demonstration of the same pose at home. Steffi responded with an "you right" as Brooke walked in and piped up about being glad Taylor was oak. Although Steffi credited Ridge with helping Taylor, Brooke insisted Taylor also had very capable doctors. Once R.G. Forrester, Joshua Morrow, and Zen Forrester Dominguez, Delon Demetz, popped up, they expressed excitement over hope for the future being on the upswing. Steffi didn't seem as certain, but she suggested they'd find out soon enough, that is if Hope Logan, Annika Noel, ever showed up for the meeting. In the meantime, RG thanked everyone for being supportive while he was processing all the Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada drama. RG and Zend admitted they hadn't heard from Luna since she got locked up, but they were happily focusing on hope for the future anyway. In the corridor, Carter thought back to kissing Hope and smiled over their connection. In the design office, Hope was stressed ahead of the Hope for the Future meeting and complained to Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, while searching for a thumb drive. Hope assumed Steffi called this meeting to threaten her line again and was exhausted from constantly being on the chopping block. Liam offered to take Beth Spencer, Jordan Gracie, tonight so that Hope could decompress after the meeting was over, so she was grateful. When Carter appeared, he was surprised to once again find Liam with Hope. Liam assured Hope that Carter would take care of her in the upcoming meeting, so Carter said Liam could count on it. After Liam left on Thursday's B&B episode, Carter told Hope that she didn't have to explain anything regarding her ex's visit. As for the meeting that was coming up, Carter reiterated that he'd support her and said Hope shouldn't forget that he had her back. In the CDO office, Hope and Carter joined Steffi, Ridge, Brooke, RJ and Zend to discuss where Hope for the Future stood. Carter pointed out that Ridge was throwing his full support behind Brooke's bedroom, which was paying off. The numbers weren't where they wanted them yet for Hope's line, but Carter had a plan to fix that. Instead of just giving Hope for the Future more time, Carter thought they needed to be sinking more resources into it. Steffi and Ridge were wary of doing that since Hope for the Future was already struggling, but Carter insisted they couldn't put a price on the social impact. Carter guaranteed that losing Hope for the Future would hurt them since it was their most meaningful line. Buzz could be generated, but integrity had to be earned. Carter played up Hope's contributions and made a prediction that all her line needed was the biggest spotlight they could give it. Once Carter said they shouldn't give up on Hope or Hope for the Future, she smiled over how supportive he was being. Carter's passionate defense of Hope also seemed to surprise Steffi, Ridge, and the others. At Spencer Publications, Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, made Bill Spencer, Don Diamond, promised not to flip out and broke the news about his new internship at Forrester Creations. Bill ranted about it being nonsense and argued that Will needed to come learn how to run a real business at Spencer Publications. Will eventually got honest about the gorgeous girls at Forrester being a big draw, so Bill settled down and seemed pleased that was the real reason. Bill also wasn't giving up on reuniting with Katie Logan, Heather Tom, but Will admitted he told her that just because they were great parents didn't mean they made a good couple. Bill was disappointed in himself since Will and Katie didn't trust him the way he wanted them to. Liam ultimately joined the conversation and wanted in on the guys' night that Will and Bill were planning. Bill talked about how would be a great addition to Spencer Publications one day before Liam praised Will for assisting him recently. Liam said that Will was kind enough to help him realize he wanted a life with hope again. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Liam may not get his wish anytime soon, so stick with us for updates on Hope and Carter's budding romance. In the latest episode of The Bold and the Beautiful for Thursday, October 17, emotions ran high as relationships were tested, confessions were made, and new truths came to light. This dramatic day unfolded with intense confrontations and pivotal moments, setting the stage for explosive fallout across the Forrester, Logan, and Spencer families. Luna update. A family secret unfolds. The episode began with Luna, whose mysterious backstory has been the subject of curiosity for weeks. Today, Luna's story took a significant turn as she confided in her newfound confidant, Finn, at the Cliff House. Finn, always the calm and caring figure, listened closely as Luna revealed more details about her troubled past. She admitted to him that she came to Los Angeles not just for a fresh start, but to escape a complicated and painful family situation back home. "I couldn't handle the weight of the secrets anymore," Luna confessed, her voice trembling as she shared her hidden struggles. Finn, ever the supportive listener, gently urged her to go on, promising that whatever she was running from, she didn't have to face it alone anymore. Through tears, Luna hinted at a powerful, connected family that had control over her life, something far more dangerous than Finn had imagined. Though she didn't name names yet, it was clear that the Forrester and Logan clans might be drawn into this swirling vortex of secrets soon enough. "I'm scared, Finn," she admitted, her eyes wide with fear. "I think my family is keeping an even bigger secret from me, something that could change everything." Her confession left Finn with a decision to make, whether to involve Steffi and the rest of the Forresters, or try to help Luna quietly. Little did he know, Luna's troubles might be bigger than anyone realized, with deep connections to people far more influential in Los Angeles than she could have guessed. Will confesses, the Spencer family in turmoil. Meanwhile, back at the Spencer Publications offices, a tense scene unfolded between Bill Spencer and his youngest son, Will. The teen had been unusually distant lately, leaving his father concerned about what was going on in his life. Today, Bill decided to confront his son directly, unwilling to let their relationship continue to fray. "Will, we need to talk," Bill said firmly, his tone leaving no room for argument. Will, who had been trying to avoid this conversation for days, finally sighed in resignation and sat down across from his father. "I know something's going on with you, son," Bill continued. "You've been distracted, secretive, and not yourself. What is it? You can tell me anything." At first, Will resisted, but under the weight of his father's concerned gaze, he finally broke down. "Dad, I've messed up," he said quietly. "There's something I did, something that could change everything for us." Bill leaned in, his eyes narrowing with concern. "What do you mean, Will? What did you do?" With trembling hands, Will confessed that he had been involved in a scheme orchestrated by someone outside the Spencer family, someone powerful who had manipulated him into spying on the business. His father's world turned upside down in that moment. "I didn't mean for it to go this far," Will said, his voice breaking. "I thought it was just harmless stuff at first, but now I think they want to take down the company, Dad." Bill's face darkened with anger and disappointment, but underneath it all was the love and protectiveness of a father. "Who's behind this, Will?" he demanded. "I'll make sure they pay for dragging you into this. Nobody messes with my family." But Will hesitated, clearly torn between protecting someone or coming clean. His silence hinted at a bigger player, perhaps someone who would send shockwaves through the Spencer empire once revealed. Carter stands up to Steffi, a showdown at Forrester Creations. At Forrester Creations, tensions reached a boiling point as Steffi and Carter found themselves on opposite sides of a growing divide. The normally composed COO had reached his breaking point after weeks of seeing Steffi make decisions that, in his eyes, were too driven by personal vendettas and emotional whims. The confrontation began when Steffi ordered Carter to handle a high-stakes deal in a way that directly conflicted with his ethical stance. Carter, who had always been loyal to the Forresters, felt increasingly uncomfortable with Steffi's aggressive approach, particularly after her return to Los Angeles and the fallout with Liam. "Steffi, I can't keep doing this," Carter said firmly, his voice steady but filled with conviction. "I've stood by this company through thick and thin, but some of the decisions you're making, they're not what Forrester Creations stands for." Steffi, caught off guard by Carter's sudden opposition, shot him a sharp glare. "I'm doing what's necessary for this company to thrive," she snapped. "If you have a problem with that, maybe you're not as loyal to this family as I thought." Carter's jaw clenched, and he took a deep breath, determined not to back down. "This isn't about loyalty, Steffi. It's about what's right. You're letting personal issues cloud your judgment. The decisions you're making could have long-term consequences for the company and the people who work here." Steffi's expression softened slightly, but her pride kept her from conceding. "You don't understand, Carter. I'm under more pressure than you know. Everything I'm doing is to protect this company and my family." "I understand that you're hurting," Carter said, his voice gentler now. "But you can't let that hurt drive every decision. You're better than this. Forrester is better than this." The moment hung heavy in the air, with Steffi caught between her fierce need to protect her legacy and the growing realization that Carter might be right. But before she could respond, an unexpected visitor walked into the room, Ridge. His presence immediately shifted the dynamic, and the tension between Carter and Steffi became palpable. "Am I interrupting something?" Ridge asked, his sharp eyes scanning the room. Both Steffi and Carter exchanged a glance, their silent conflict now exposed. The day's confrontations were far from over, and with Ridge now in the mix, the stakes for Forrester Creations and the family were higher than ever. As Thursday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful came to a close, the stage was set for even more dramatic showdowns. Luna's mysterious past, Will's dangerous confession, and Carter's stand against Steffi all hinted at major twists to come. With alliances shifting and secrets unraveling, the characters are poised for a tumultuous journey ahead.